Alright, what's up y'all? So today I'm going to show y'all how to set up this, I got a tote here. This is, it's just a Rubbermaid tote. It don't matter what size tote you have. That's not important. Um, you can get whatever size tote fits your space. I'm going to run in the house and get a drill right quick because I'm going to need one. People, I am back. So, what I want to show y'all first is you're going to have to drill some holes in these containers. Naturally, you want your containers to have holes. Now, let me show y'all where I'm at so y'all can get an idea of why I'm doing it like this. Okay, y'all can see right here there's a tree. That's apple tree. Right there's a tree. That's persimmon. Sorry, y'all. I got y'all out cockeyed and stuff. So, my container is going to go here. Roughly about there. Now, when I have this container planted full of stuff, I'm going to water this container. I have no intentions of ever really watering the actual trees. I didn't water them last year. That's my whole point of getting the trees in the ground. I'm tired of watering trees. You know, like I talked about, you have to lessen your workload. When you put trees in the ground, they can find their own water resources and minerals and stuff like that. That's how trees work. So I needed to lower my workload. I had planted the garden. I didn't have time for all that water and all that carrying on. I needed to, get them in the ground. So I got them in the ground, didn't water them. We did get to a dry part of the latter part of the summer. My trees were carrying fruit. I did have to water like once. But then after that, good. I haven't watered them since. They've only gotten rainwater. That also encourages their roots to grow deeper and deeper into the ground in search of water, minerals, etc. Now, these containers, the way I'm going to set them up, they're basically going to be a compost in place container. What that means is the bottom 2/3 of that container is not going to be soil. I'm not going to fill that with soil. I'm going to show you what I'm going to fill that with. I'm going to fill it with all organic compostable materials. So everything in there will compost in place. The top about third will be filled with soil. I will use a layering technique, which I'll get into later on in the season when I figure out what I want to layer and how I want to layer it. And if you're not familiar with this, you can watch Robbie and Gary Easy Gardening. Robbie's garden is pretty much primarily totes, and all of it is some type of layer type container situation to where you pretty much water the top container, and when you water the top one, the water trickles out, goes to the next one, goes to the next one. So that's what I'm doing here. Once I fill this up, when I water this, wherever I put my holes at, I can put my holes and almost direct the water to where it's going to go. Well, since this is composting in place, basically the water that's coming out of these containers will be compost tea. I don't want to just lose that compost tea. So that's why I'm strategically placing this bed in between these two trees. And I also have another one there. I'm going to put another one right there. And I may put some over, y'all excuse me, my tripod thing I need to tighten. There we go. I'm probably going to put some back there, in the back there as well. Perhaps, we'll see. But those are going to have to be more shade tolerant plants. These out here get a little bit more sun. So, yeah, so basically what would happen is when you're watering, compost tea comes out of the bottom. You put your holes where you want them so that the water goes roughly in the direction of these trees. And therefore, your trees are being watered with compost tea every time you water your containers. So what I'm going to do is, and I just got some old toilet paper rolls that'll break down in there. I'm going to, see how this tree is right here? I'm going to put I'm going to put 2 holes kind of in the corner. So when the water leaches out, you have to think about it, the roots of the tree, because they always tell you to fertilize around the drip line, right? So that's right around the drip line, right around the edge of here. So it's going to water, that'll go down to those roots. I'm also going to put holes this corner over here, same thing, drip line, That water will leach out onto the ground right there. That's surrounding the drip line of the persimmon tree. And that will feed the persimmon tree. So let me go ahead and I'm gonna put the camera in the shade. The light's better. Let's also make sure my camera doesn't get hot as fire. Okay, so I'm gonna put that there. Drill me some holes right quick. And I'm gonna leave about 1 inch or 2 at the bottom. I'm gonna leave about 1 inch or 2 at the bottom so that on days or whatever when it gets really hot, it'll have a little bit of water reservoir at the bottom. Alright, so let me see what y'all can see. Y'all really can't see them holes too good, but like I said, they're on the corners. The water will drip out and go over towards my trees. You can tell it's been raining a little bit. Alright, so I got my holes drilled. You also do not have to drill those holes if you don't want. You can take a nail and hammer it through there. You can take a knife, but be very careful if you're going to use a knife. You don't want to hurt yourself. You can take something that gets hot, like a soldering iron or something like that. You can simply melt a hole in the plastic. Just be creative if you don't have a drill or you don't have a way to punch that hole in there real simply. I mean, I think I saw somebody stabbing some plastic with some scissors. Hey, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. You also can take out a little frustration that way. But anyway, so holes in there. Now let me show you what I'm gonna fill this up with. Okay. So I got the toilet paper rolls in there. First thing I'm gonna put is some paper. Okay. A little more. I also want y'all to keep in mind that over time, earthworms will find this, and you'll probably be like, how? Well, with this stuff composting down, earthworms will find their way into whatever they would like to eat. They'll easily go through those holes, through these holes. They'll climb up over the top. They do what they need to do. So you will get earthworms down in there, which will create casting. Now what I'm going to do is, remember those peas I just took out over there? I'm going to put about half of them in here. About. I'm going to rip, because I remember I got another one over there. These peas are tough. You're trying to break them and rip them. They are so tough. Alright. Oop. Now, I do understand I'm probably going to have peas growing in here. Because I'm sure I didn't get every pod off, because I just got one off there. But that's why I put that paper in the bottom. Let me go put some paper in this other one. For the leaves, let me mention this. Twigs. If you got a bunch of twigs, and don't be afraid to step on it and break that stuff down. These twigs will break down. Okay, a little bit more paper. too much. It don't matter how much of this stuff, you put as much as you want. Now, I know y'all looking like, that's a lot of leaves. You right. That's about how much you're gonna need. I see. I'm gonna cover up as much of the leaves as I can, but it's not imperative, or it's not, you know, it ain't gotta be perfect. All right, so there you go. One bag of soil. That bag of soil is busted, so it cost me like 98 cents or maybe $1 and some change with tax. I use one bag of soil. Y'all can see that whole thing is filled up now. All of that stuff under there will break down, compost in place, and feed your plants. You can plant directly in this if you're going to plant seeds. If you're going to plant starts, I would say that you could do it, but I might go a little deeper on the dirt. Because, you know, you want to be able to get your starts down into some, you know, pretty good dirt, or maybe just make you a pocket to where the dirt is deeper in one spot. But as that plant grows, trust me, when that stuff grows down, the roots grow down into the stuff that's composting, those plants will love it. If you think I'm lying, watch these gardeners who garden in place. Who compost in place. Y'all think I'm joking? Go back some months, you know, maybe to the beginning of this year. Look at Deborah Christmas videos. She's been a proponent of composting in place forever. And, you know, she moved to a new place, and within a couple of months, she had a tree fall and it kind of tore up some stuff. But just watch the videos where she didn't have hardly anything planted. Most of her stuff was in containers. To like a couple of months later, her plants were thriving. It's because she composts in place. The same thing with Robbie. Robbie's stuff looks absolutely amazing. If you've never seen her tree collards and her papayas and stuff like that, and she don't use all this, you can do what you want to do, but buying all this different stuff, cottonseed meal and all this stuff you're sprinkling on the dirt and all this, let me tell you something. Compost in place. Use weed teas, fermented plant teas, you know, whatever you want to call them. Use that, roll with it, and you get amazing results for very little effort. So I'm gonna do this to the other bed that I have over there. And if you got any questions or concerns, comments, leave them in the comment section below. Till next time, see you guys later.